My name is Sebastian Lanasaw. This is my presentation on communication on the field. I want to start off by apologizing if I cough anytime throughout this. I'm going to do my best. I did just come off pneumonia, but I'll try to get through it. Without further ado, let's get into it. So think about a time when a baseball game completely shifted after miscommunication. Whether outfielders ran into each other, someone forgot to call out a bunt, or the dugout went silent after the team fell flat. Moments like these remind us that in sports, silence is not just unhelpful, but it can also cost you the game. Today, I'm going to try to persuade you that communication on the field is not just a skill, it's a competitive advantage. When players talk, support each other, and stay vocally locked in, everything about a team improves. Their performance, confidence, and the entire energy of the team. So, whether you're an athlete, coach, or someone who works with any kind of team, communication affects how well players work together. As a player at Lewis and Clark State, I rely on communication every single day, whether in practice, in the games, in the dugouts, with my coaches outside of it. I rely on communication. And I experienced firsthand how talking, calling out plays, bringing high energy in the dugout, and everything changes how a team works as a whole. We're going to go over 3 key points today: why you should communicate effectively on the field, how communication shapes and motivation, energy, and performance, and how you can apply effective communication strategies. So let's get started with why communication matters to every athlete. Why communication matters. Communication is the backbone of teamwork. Without it, even the best teams will struggle. It's the foundation of trust. When teammates communicate clearly, especially a pitcher-to-catcher duo, everyone begins to rely on each other with confidence. Good communication off the field also helps with this building of relationships and makes the environment overall healthier. Pitcher communicating on how they're feeling can also prevent injury and help coaches make a decision to keep them in or put in a new player. Communication separates an average team from great teams. Communication also separates average teams from great teams. Pitchers who communicate effectively elevate not only their own performance, but the entire defense. A vocal team plays faster, cleaner, and with more confidence. Communication reduces mental errors. So many mistakes on the baseball field come from silent assumptions, like who's covering second, did someone call a bunt, or who's got priority in the gap. Even talented teams collapse when they stop talking to each other. Coaches at every level repeatedly emphasize, if you're not talking, you're not competing. Communication creates chemistry. Sports communication experts note that teams with strong interpersonal communication perform significantly better than under pressure because communication reduces uncertainty. But communication does more than just help avoid mistakes. It fuels the entire emotional environment of the game. Energy and motivation. Next, we'll go on to how communication shapes motivation, energy, and performance. This is where communication becomes a difference maker. Communication plays a major role in maintaining confidence, especially for pitchers. Baseball is a mental game, and the supportive communication can steady a player under pressure. Moving on, communication is one of the biggest factors in creating a loud, supportive dugout. When players talk, cheer, call out plays, stay involved, it creates an atmosphere that lifts the entire team. Energy is contagious, and communication is what starts that. Pitchers often feed off the dugout's volume. For example, when a pitcher works out of a jam and the dugout erupts, saying things like "let's go" or "attack the zone" between pitches also gives pitchers the momentum and keeps them locked in. Players feed off of each other's communication so that the energy gets fed off each other. Communication is that spark that can shift the entire direction of the game. Moments like hyping up big moments, celebrating small wins, and keeping the intensity high. Momentum isn't just created by runs or strikeouts, it's created by communication around those moments. When pitchers get a big strikeout and the team explodes with energy, the pitcher often does better in the back end. Communication anchors the team emotionally so they don't fold under pressure. Silence destroys energy, confidence, and momentum. So silence creates doubt. In baseball, a quiet team often feels disconnected, low energy, and unsure of themselves. If a pitcher struggles and the dugout is silent, then it could feel like the team is completely mentally checked out. Or silence after errors or tough innings leads to players tightening up and playing stressed, scared, or lose confidence in each other. During a mound visit could send the message that no one knows what to do, or even worse, everyone's mentally checked out. Communication is what keeps that morale alive. Silence leads to hesitation and low morale. Like I said, on the field and in everyday life, silence is in relationships or the workplace creates anxiety and misunderstanding. When people stop communicating, motivation drops and trust fades. Whether it's a team, a family, a job, silence is almost always a problem. And on teams I've played for, the difference is obvious. The team that stays locked in, highly motivated, and energetic is usually the ones that come on top, and the teams that don't have a lot of urgency or confidence are the teams that usually come out on bottom. So learning how to communicate on the field doesn't just make you a better athlete, it builds habits that transfer directly into everyday situations like classrooms, jobs, relationships, and personal interactions. On-field skills equal real-life skills. So on the field, effective communication means being vocal and clear, supporting teammates, using nonverbal cues like eye contact, gesture, staying composed, and communicating even under pressure. These same skills matter in real life. So like being vocal and clear helps you speak up in class. Staying calm under pressure is useful during disagreements, job interviews, deadlines, and stressful conversations. Bringing a positive energy, like on the field, influences group projects, work environments, personal interactions, and people like to follow a person that's good at communicating and being a leader. Research on athlete communication shows that skills learned in sports leads directly to leadership, professional interactions, personal relationships, and later in life. In other words, communicating well in baseball prepares you to communicate well overall in life. So my key message, whether it's a tight game situation or a real-world situation, the way you communicate has the power to shape your results, your relationships, your success, whatever it is. Communication is more than just a baseball skill. It's a life skill. When we talk about supporting each other, staying vocal, and bringing the energy, we succeed not only on the field but in every day where it matters. So the next time you step on a baseball field or in a classroom or a workplace, a conversation or a stressful situation, remember this: your voice matters. Use it to lead, motivate, encourage, and connect with people around you, because the great teams win with communication, and great people succeed with it too. Thank you for watching, and here are my sources.